So I want to continue from the the last video. I want to just wrap it up. The thing is with the when you look at Giannis's wife and then you look at Steph Curry's wife, it's as I said, it's like the polar opposite. Now, I was saying that granted, a lot of people were coming at her in the comment section, talking mess about her and what have you. And that's just based off of the aesthetic. They couldn't say anything based off of her character and the way she portrays herself in the media. Okay. So with this being said, you know, it's kind of odd. I don't know if this is true or not. I don't really know if it's true. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. People can inform me if it is or not. But there is even talk of Giannis moving his family to Greece permanently. You know, I don't know if that rumor is true. Me personally, I believe he's just doing it, part time out of the year. He'll move them there, basically, and and I think he's doing it, if he is doing it, so they don't get contaminated with what's going on. Okay. The thing is with Giannis's wife, she's happy being a mother and happy being his support system. Whereas, the polar opposite is with Aisha Curry. Now, granted, I don't know, uh, I don't know what uh, Giannis's wife's past was before she got with Giannis. I don't know, but I mean, she seems like she was straight down the middle because they met when she was an intern for Milwaukee Bucks. So obviously she was involved. Obviously, maybe she was involved in some kind of, in like some kind of program to, possibly work in broadcasting. I don't know. I really don't know, to be honest with you. But the thing is that this is the whole thing. This is my thing. Aisha Curry admitted that she wanted to be this boss babe. She wanted to be this, this quote unquote independent woman. And the thing is about that is that, bro, the husband helped her level up. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you leveled up when your husband decided to help you pursue your dreams. Your husband actually increased your net worth, not by just being with him, but he increased it by basically, I want to say, um, I, by contributing to your cause, be it your books or be it, I don't know if she has her own podcast. I try not to pay attention to this woman, but yes. And again, I'm going to just say this. I believe that, again, the blame cannot be held to some certain basketball players. I think personally that they're so involved in basketball that they don't learn the other game, and meaning the other game being with females. Okay, because if this was the case, for example, if this was the case, right, then PJ Washington probably would have chose better, because now Brittany Renner is trying to extort him. We know the story with that. Anthony Edwards would have chose better. I think the woman put out that his pipe game is weak. I Zion Williamson would have chose better. I think he knocked up a corn star. So it's not their fault entirely. I think because it takes a certain type of engine to get to the NBA. You know what I mean? I think they're so focused on that they lose track of they lose track of, I want to say, the they lose track of the important thing that could help them down the line and could protect them down the line, you know. But in Giannis's case, the thing is with him, I read his book. I read a book with Giannis Antetokounmpo in it was like a biography. I read that book. What happened with Giannis is that, you know, at first in the book, he even said, you know, he said, I can't trust these American women because they want your money. He said that in the book, okay? Those were his words. However, despite it all, he got an American woman. Now, I'm pretty sure like Aisha Curry, she's of mixed heritage. You know, I'm pretty sure of that. It's just that with her, with this being the case, she kind of just didn't she didn't let it get to her head. You know what I mean? Now, granted, you know, she now granted, I think they carried before they married, but I mean that's that's you know, they married, and I'm not saying they should. I'm not encouraging this to carry before you marry. I'm not encouraging this at all. Now, you know, even when you look at her page, you know, you can see that she's basically, I want to say, advocating and even helping in Giannis Antetokounmpo's foundations and things like that. I don't think Aisha Curry is doing that. You know what I mean? I don't think she plays that part in the marriage with Steph Curry. Now, another thing too that's interesting. This is what's interesting. Giannis is 30 years old. It says his wife is 33 years old. So, you know, it's pretty interesting that he chose an older woman. You know, now I don't know if that was by intention that he chose an older woman, but he just, you know, that's how the ball fell. Now, with that being said, she wasn't like let's just say she wasn't, maybe the maturity actually came in. Maybe the way she carried herself actually was the deciding factor. I don't know what was happening in the time of, you know, Steph Curry's high school, or how Aisha Curry was carrying herself in the high school years and things like that. But I would think that perhaps maybe there was a couple of signs that he can see that, like, maybe I shouldn't even just be doing this. Maybe, you know, this isn't something I should entertain. But for whatever reasons, he didn't see those. He didn't see those things. You know. So with that being said, right? With this being said,
It's becoming.
It's I want to say, when I reflect on it, when I reflect on this whole thing, and I should just end this video and maybe revisit it. But when I guess what I want to reflect on is the fact that you can be the apex at your chosen discipline, but that still may not be enough for the women like Aisha Curry. And I hate to say it, but Aisha Curry speaks for the majority of Western women, and Giannis's wife speaks only for a minority of Western women who are pretty much nowhere to be seen. And if they have a social media presence, it's so quiet that they're not even called pick-me's, because they're so quiet that they're just minding their own business, basically. So with that being said, I hate to say it, but when you have like Aisha Curry and people encouraging Aisha Curry's behavior, I expect it to get worse. But anyhow, y'all let me know what you think of this situation. Leave your thoughts. Foolish signing out. Njara.